Hi guys, in this video, we will check out the best graphics cards that you should buy in 2021. I listed them based on my research by checking quality, features, price, and reviews. If you like any graphic card, you can buy right now by checking the links in the description. We have picked the 5 graphics cards that will be best for you, so let's get started with the video. The 5th graphic card in our list is the AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT. If you've money to burn, the RTX 3090 may have sat unchallenged at the top rungs of graphics performance at launch, but it wouldn't be long until AMD rustled together a challenger in the RX 6900 XT, or Big Navi. The RX 6900 XT hopes to knock Ampere's finest from its perch on high and send it spiraling back down to earth. And it gets kind of close, too, with 4K performance a little off the pace of the RTX 3090 and all for 1/3 off the asking price. For that reason, it's simply the better buy for any PC gamer without any ulterior motives of the pro-creator variety. But there's a reason it's not number 1 in our graphics card guide today, and that's simply due to the fact it's not that much better than an RTX 3080, and sometimes not at all. It's another $300 on top of the RTX 3080's price tag, and you'd hope for higher performance in both rasterized and ray tracing workloads. Yet, inevitably its ray tracing acceleration lags behind the competition. But the RX 6900 XT does come with assurances that the RTX 3080 can't make, such as its 16 GB of GDDR6 memory, which is a whole 6 GB greater than the 10 GB of GDDR6X memory on the Green Team card. With that in mind, for raw gaming alone, the RX 6900 XT is a cheaper alternative to the RTX 3090, if still a victim to its own extreme price tag. AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT has some following specifications. It has 5120 RDNA cores, 1825 MHz base clock, 2250 MHz boost clock, 16 GDDR6 memory, and it has the 512 GB memory bandwidth. The good stuff about AMD Radeon is that it has occasional RTX 3090 performance and it is cheaper. The bad stuff is that it can lag behind RTX 3080 at times and mediocre ray tracing performance. The 4th graphic card in our list is the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070. Finally, a reason for every 10 series gamer to upgrade. Perhaps the only high-end Ampere that's anything close to reasonably affordable, the RTX 3070 is also impressive for its ability to match the top-string touring graphics card, the RTX 2080 Ti, for less than half of its price tag. At $499, it's still a significant sum by any means. We're talking next-gen console equivalent pricing here, but it's hardly an exorbitant sum when compared to PC gaming's top graphics silicon today. In return, you're gifted a 4K capable graphics card that doesn't require too much fiddling to reach playable, if not high, frame rates. And it'll absolutely smash it at 1440p, no question about that. Its gaming performance credentials are undoubtedly impressive, but what makes the RTX 3070 our pick for the sensible PC gaming connoisseur is the entire Nvidia ecosystem underlying the RTX stack today. DLSS is a neat trick for improving performance, with only a nominal loss in clarity, and other features such as broadcast and reflex go a long way to sweetening the deal. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 has some following specifications. It has 5888 CUDA cores, 1500 MHz base clock, 1725 MHz boost clock, 8 GB GDDR6 memory, and it has 448 GB memory bandwidth. The good stuff about AMD Radeon is that it has turning-topping frame rates, relatively low power, and this fake card is small. The only bad stuff is that it is annoying 12-pin power connector. The 3rd graphic card in our list is the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. More affordable Ampere. The best value Ampere to date, the RTX 3060 Ti, is very closely related to the RTX 3070. Both utilize the same GA104 GPU. With the same 8 GB of GDDR6 memory across a 256-bit bus. While 17% less capable in core count, the RTX 3060 Ti makes up for it with some judicious GPU boost frequencies. That partially explains why the RTX 3060 Ti can be within 17% to just single digits off the pace of the RTX 3070, despite operating at a silicon disadvantage. Not bad for a $399 card. If you haven't already done the maths, at $399, the RTX 3060 Ti is 20% cheaper than the RTX 3070, and so performance per dollar is on the up with the diminutive graphics card. That's why we love it so. It's a great GPU for the full stack of resolutions and has decent ray tracing capability to boot, courtesy of second generation RT cores. If the RTX 3080 or RTX 3070 seem out of reach, the RTX 3060 Ti certainly makes for a decent stand-in. Perhaps most impressive of this graphics card is how it stacks up to the 20 series generation. It topples the RTX 2080 Super in nearly every test. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti has some following specifications. It has 4864 CUDA cores, 1410 MHz base clock, 1665 MHz boost clock, 8 GB GDDR6 memory, and it has 448 GB memory bandwidth. The good stuff of Nvidia GeForce RTX is that it finally, something a little more affordable, 2080 Super performance, and it is under $400. The bad stuff is that it is annoying 12-pin power connector and it is not quite good enough for 4K. The second graphic card in our list is the AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT. AMD's RDNA 2 architecture at its best. As a red team alternative to Nvidia's high-end graphics cards, there have been few finer than the RX 6800 XT. A highly competitive card that comes so close to its rival, with a nominal performance differential to the RTX 3080, it is truly an enthusiast card worth consideration for any PC gamer with 4K in their sights. It's a tough call between it and the RTX 3080, but the latter just pips AMD to the post with the final touches a la RTX. The RX 6800 XT is $50 cheaper, delivers high 4K performance, and a hefty VRAM increase over the RTX 3080. However, it's easy to argue that an extra $50 dropped on the RTX 3080 is money well spent, a small price to pay for greater 4K performance, much improved ray tracing, and DLSS. All available today and with 2 years worth of developer support in the bank. Yet we're still big fans of what AMD has managed to accomplish with the RX 6800 XT, a return to form for the Radeon technology group that injects some much needed competition into the GPU market and offers a worthy red team alternative for any high-end gaming PC build. AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT has some following specifications. It has 4608 RDNA cores, 1825 MHz base clock, 2250 MHz boost clock, 16 GB GDDR6 memory, and it has 512 GB memory bandwidth. The good stuff about AMD Radeon RX is that it has excellent 4K and it is cheaper than an RTX 3080. The bad stuff is that it is slower than the 3080 at 4K and moderate ray tracing performance. The first graphic card in our list is the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080. The best graphics card for PC gaming right now. Okay, right now, the RTX 3080 is rare as pigeon eyelashes, but there is no doubt Nvidia's new RTX 3080 is the best graphics card today. It represents a huge generational performance boost over the previous RTX 20 series. That's impressive when put up against either the RTX 2080 or 2080 Super, but when you consider that this nominally $699 card can not just match but massively outperform the $1,200 RTX 2080 Ti, it really hits home. The thing which really stands out from our testing is the difference it makes to ray tracing performance. The first generation of ray tracing capable cards required such a huge frame rate sacrifice that most people shied away from turning it on, but that's no longer the case with this generation. When you can now get ray traced performance that exceeds the frame rates you'd get out of the top card of the RTX 20 series when running without it, you know that this is a whole different beast. And hey, the RTX 3080 can actually run Crysis. Nvidia has managed this by adding a whole load more CUDA cores to the mix in this 8nm GPU and updated Tensor cores and 2nd Gen RT cores to make with the ray-traced pretties. The RTX 3080 may need a fair chunk more power. You'll want at least an 850W PSU and be tricky to get hold of, but this is the most desirable graphics card around today. Which I guess is also why it's so tricky to get hold of. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080 has some following specifications. It has 8704 CUDA cores, 1440 MHz base clock, 1710 MHz boost clock, 10 GB GDDR6X memory, and it has 760 GB memory bandwidth. The good stuff of Nvidia GeForce RTX is that it has incredible gen-on-gen performance, makes 2080 Ti look mid-range, and ray tracing no longer a sacrifice. The only bad stuff is that it needs a beefy PSU. For more details and the latest price of the graphics cards, check the links provided in the description. That's all. I hope that this video will help you to make a better decision about choosing the graphics cards. If this video has helped you, then please like this video and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.